everybody! I am Vicky from Fangirl Review. I am your host for tonight's Gamer Corner. I am your host every time, but let's ignore that part. Hi Prime, hi Music, how are you? I hope you guys are doing amazing. I have with me the beautiful, the famous, or infamous, the horror queen herself, the female phenom, right?
Hey everybody!
Okay. So I met the female phenom last year as she was the winner for the Spidey Sense Award for the 2022 BIPOC Streamer Awards. Nominations are now live, so please take the time to nominate your favorite content creator. And I think she was the first one to tear up during the award show. I think you started the tears first.
I did.
I was like, yes, we got tears. Clip that.
Mission accomplished.
As long as we got one person that gives us tears, we're good. We did something right.
Yes, you definitely did.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where did the name come from? Like, you know, what type of content creator are you, and things of that sort.
So, funny thing is, well, I'm a wrestling fan, and my favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. So, for about, I think like 2 or 3 years before I started content creation, I was the only female co-host on a wrestling talk radio show. So at first I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to use my real name. And then I was like, wait a minute. I said, can I use a wrestling name? And they were like, you know what? That's a good idea. We all should have wrestling names. So I was shooting some ideas out there, and the first name that I came up with was Death Valley Princess or Death Valley Queen, something corny like that. And my co-host, a good friend of mine, he was like, no, that does not fit you. And then he said, well, what about the Female Phenom? And I was like, oh, okay. But I was going to spell it THE. And he was like, no, let's put some sauce on it. Let's spell it like this. Like, you know what, I kind of like that. And it kind of like just stuck with me the whole time. So what's funny is sometimes when people come into my streams, or if I'm at an event, they'll say, are you an Undertaker fan? And I'm like, oh, and they'll figure out the connection between the two, and it's so funny. So that's how I came up with my name. Huge Undertaker fan. I'm also a horror content creator. I play a lot of other games because I'm willing to try anything once, but horror is my first love, of course. I'm also the founder of a horror-based stream team for femme presenting and women of color called the Screen Reapers. I also base my content around autism awareness due to the diagnosis of my youngest son. We talk about mental health. We talk about current events. We do horror movie reviews or watch horror trailers, stuff like that. So, and we also talk about wrestling as well, and true crime also.
Oh,
so, yes.
True crime. Hi, Vicky B. Wicked. Welcome in.
Hi, Yes.
Listen, I be listening to My Favorite Murder podcast. I like to listen to that when I'm on the treadmill, because it's at least like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I gotta get through 30 minutes on this dang on treadmill.
Or you use it as a timer.
Yep. Because if you do like their little mini episodes, they're like 30 minutes, and I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, what? They got killed? How?
Right.
They only found a leg? But then I'll be crazy and I'll listen, like, you know, it's slowly becoming spring, and I'll listen to it while walking like this park, and there's definitely areas where I'm like, I could easily get snatched and killed in this bush right here and be on the next episode of this show. Like, what am I doing? I need not to be here.
Right, right. Oh my gosh.
No, but that's so cool. Like, what made you decide to start the Scream Reapers?
The reason why I started the Scream Reapers is because I love horror, and I also do special effects makeup and body painting. So I would like look for people, and mostly like when and this happens a lot of times with my Screen Reapers too, like they'll get a game and they'll play it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I later find out that they love horror, or they do horror art such as such, and I'm like, wow, I'm in the right place. And then I remember I was when I became partner, I was like, well, what am I going to do with this now? And then I said, well, maybe I could start a horror based stream team
Mm,
because that's what I love, and I would like to get other people together like myself.
true.
And I remember I was sitting on it and sitting on it, and the founder of Brown Girl Gamer Code, her name is Brand, and I messaged her one day and I was like, I want to run something past you because she likes horror as well.
Yeah.
And I said, Brand, I said, I think I'm going to open up a stream team next year. And she was like, what? She was like, why are you waiting until next year? We need to work on this now. Like, this needs to happen because there's nothing
Mm,
like this out here. So I started working on it, and I started getting everything together. Vicky was one of my first members,
aw.
and it was just like a little community of us, and we had movie night, we watch horror movies. We recently had like a reaper mixer where the older members would get to know the newer members. We would just sit back and chill. I also tried to like get them horror game keys. We
Oh,
also do
cool.
collabs with each other, so it's like a little horror family
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. And I've never felt so comfortable in us, even though it's my own. It's like, you sitting in the living room with your best friends watching TV, or you finally get to message somebody and be like, hey, did y'all see Halloween Ends? And nobody is looking at you like, no, I don't watch
Be
horror
like, I'll
movies. Or,
watch that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so awesome. Like they're so talented. They are so loving, caring, and so ambitious. Like I look up to all of them because each of them have something that I am inspired to be,
Yeah.
or I would like to showcase them so that everybody can meet them. So that's the reason why I started the Screen Reapers, because I really, and another reason why I also started it was because I wanted to show people and show the world that people of color also like horror. We also do
True.
special effects makeup. We also love dark art and fantasy and
Yes.
horror things.
Welcome in,
So
Raiders. Excuse me 1 second. Welcome in,
that's
Raiders. Thank
okay.
you, Baldy Locks, for the raid. I appreciate you. That's one of my old school BTC folk. Used to
Oh,
harass him in his streams all the time. I harass a lot of people in their streams. You know what? Well, you were just
goodness.
playing some Apex. Everybody playing Apex. I'm trash at
Hmm.
Apex.
I am too. Don't feel bad.
Like, it's too much. Too much going
Hmm.
on.
Yes.
Fresh, what's good? What's good? How are you? Welcome in. I appreciate first time chatting. I have with me the amazing, the female phenom, and she is telling us about her love of horror and how it brought together her stream team. Nikki, hello, hello.
Hi,
Yes.
sissy.
what What are your thoughts on Scream 6? Is it 6 now?
Yes.
Right?
Scream 6, that is coming out actually this Friday.
Right? Okay, I thought it was Friday. Yeah.
Yes. I'm very excited about it. They definitely took a turn a different turn from with Scream 5. Like a lot of people were expecting certain things. A lot of people had speculations of certain things, and then we were surprised.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, and then when you read up in the blogs and stuff, so in the first Scream, Billy and Stu, the character that played Stu, everybody for some reason thinks that he's coming back.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to either being surprised, like, oh my gosh, he's back, or oh no, he didn't show
Oh,
up. So,
that's
yeah.
Matthew Lillard, right? Where is he at
Yes.
now?
Mhm.
I mean,
He's I haven't seen too much about him, but I know that he like pops in every now and then for an interview. But yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully I'm crossing my fingers that maybe he shows up, but if he's not, I won't be too disappointed.
Oh, I mean, I definitely. The first Scream always has a special place in my heart. I think it was one summer, me and my brothers were like rewatching that like all the time. It was ridiculous. We were like quoting it to that's like how much. And we were watching that. We were watching the Romeo and Juliet with like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah,
So we were like
yeah.
quoting both. This was like before ninth grade. I was like, what are we doing? So when I went to ninth grade English and we were like, oh, we're gonna read Romeo and Juliet, I'm like, I can recite this whole thing, this whole play for you. There's no problem.
Yes.
So would it? I don't want to ask what's your favorite horror movie. What's your favorite horror genre?
Slashers.
You're a
and gore.
slasher. Ooh.
Yes. Yes. I am.
Clutch my pearls.
I call myself a gore whore because I really like, and my sister's in here. She's looking at me like I can't watch this anymore. Like this is too much, and I'm just sitting there like, yes, yes, yes. She's covering her eyes, and I'm like, yes. And I remember a friend of mine. He recommended the Terrifier. So if
Okay.
you guys have never seen the Terrifier, like I find it comical, but also I find it enjoyable because of the gore that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that one, and then Terrifier 2 came out. And at first I wasn't going to watch it, and then some said, look at the reviews. So I'm looking at the reviews, and everybody was like, oh, this is disgusting.
Oh,
I can't believe they showed this to children. And I'm like, that's the movie that I want to see.
see. No.
And I remember my friend saying, oh my God, if before you watch it, don't eat anything. And I'm like, that was good then. I have to see this. And I enjoyed every
No.
minute of it.
No, thank you.
Enjoyed every minute of it.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No.
I enjoyed it.
I love and hate those. Like, cause I'm
Mhm.
literally like this screaming, like like, but I'm still watching, but I'm still covering up and turning away. And I don't like
Right.
anytime they stick anything in eyeballs. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't stick stuff in like I just.
And you know, that is on my list of favorites. The sticking in the eyeballs. I've seen somebody get something like stuck in their ear, like a pencil, just like I'm like, that is so amazing.
No. I like. Give me my Asian horror.
Mhm.
The bully gets their comeuppance. That's what
Oh,
you
yeah.
get. That's what I
Mhm.
like. I like the revenge spirits of Asian
Mhm.
horror. Like,
Yes.
I'll watch any of those all the time.
Any day.
What was that? The movie I watched? Audition. I think that's what it was called.
Yes,
And
I
she had
remember
the,
when
the
she.
piano wire. She's like, dee,
Yes,
dee, dee, dee.
that is my yes. Oh my God, that I think that is the only movie that I saw, and I was in love with it. So I think I watched it like a couple of times after that because I felt like I had to watch it. I'm like, maybe it's something, but I really enjoyed it. Yes, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, so all these movies that we were mentioning, please go ahead and watch.
Hmm.
with the lights on. um, I still another movie I liked. What Lies Beneath.
Oh yeah, that was a good
That
one
was
too.
right, and
Yes.
I remember going to the movies with my best friend, who was very much gothic at the time, full on, embraced it. Her parents bought her a hearse for a graduation gift.
I'm
Um,
jealous.
the
I
hearse
want
was
to see.
haunted. No, that thing was haunted.
It was.
Like, like there's why there's a little sliding glass window between
Mhm.
the front and where the body is. I don't know, because
Yeah.
not like they need to talk to you. I don't know.
Right. Right.
But like
I
it,
re- my I wanted my first car. My dad. I got my license when I was pregnant with my son, my
mhm.
oldest son. And my dad, he's like showing me all of these cars and stuff like that. And he's like, well, I found this nice, car. It got air conditioning. I was like, well, Daddy, I don't really want that one. He was like, well, show me the car that you were looking at. And it was like this 1990 something hearse. And he was like, where are you going to drive that? And I said, to doctor's appointments, the store. every- He
No,
was so mortified. He couldn't take it.
those things are haunted. No, like you couldn't open the window. Like it was so hard. Like you could not open that little window between the back and the front. Like it was impossible.
Oh my gosh.
It would open itself. Like you could not physically open it,
Well,
but you
think
would
of
leave
it.
the car and come back, and it would be
If
open.
she's driving a long way, she won't be alone. That's the comfort.
No. For her wedding, we rode in the back of it while her dad drove, and we jumped out, and we were like wearing all black with wings. It was a whole.
That is awesome. That is so awesome.
Don't get
I'm
no
so
hearse.
jealous of
That thing is haunted. Well, she became a tattoo artist as
Dope.
as an adult.
Dope.
So yes, but
Dope.
don't do that. Don't do that.
You said not for you.
Don't do that. So you started off in as a wrestling commentator. Is that how you first got into content creation? Like, was that like how was that journey?
So I was the only, like I said, I was the only female co-host um on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like rough because I was the only like female. Like I wanted to talk about like actual wrestling, like legends, and then they were like handing me stuff like, oh, you can have the diva segment, or you can talk
See,
about total divas. So it kind of became like and then it was like a back and forth like after the shows, like, and I felt like I had to constantly prove myself, and I had to show them like, hey, I do like wrestling, like let me talk about this.
oh, let's let's
So
let's let's unpack that part. I'm sorry.
yes.
Let's
Oh my
unpack
god.
the
Yes.
gatekeeping of wrestling,
Yes.
sports. Okay, well,
Anime.
wrestling is sports, but sports,
Yeah. Hmm.
anime, video
Hmm.
games,
Games. Yes. Yes.
everything. The amount of times
Yes.
that when I go into just like a comic book store or
Hmm.
going to buy video games, I'm like, hey, it's blah 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 blah. Do you have a copy of this? Is this out? And they
Hmm.
like, no.
Look
I'm
at
like, no,
you.
it came out. I
Hmm.
know.
Right. Give
They're
me my
like,
comic
well,
book, please.
yeah. They're like, well, it's not on that system. No, it
Right.
is. And I
Yes,
don't
it
just
is.
play a Nintendo. Get out my face.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, SB. Hi.
Hey,
Yes.
homie.
How are you feeling, SB? I hope you're feeling okay. I meant to text you to check in on you.
Oh.
Um, did Silky help you out? I thought she was gonna go help you, but okay. Um, yes, I'm sorry. I just listen.
It's okay.
This is the Women's Month, and it's
Hmm.
International Women's Day today.
Yeah.
So, listen. We are embracing it, and we are talking about the foolishness that sometimes we have to deal with. Like, don't gatekeep Don't do that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to constantly prove to you.
Yes. Yes.
How much I know about this topic.
And it was even situations where we were like live on the air, and it's good to have that, like, because everybody should not agree on something on a topic.
True.
But then it started to feel like you don't agree with everything. Like, are you watching the same wrestler? Like, what do you mean? So that became draining. And then I remember I got married, and I started vlogging, like, because I did my wedding myself, and I started vlogging my wedding. So I stopped doing that, and then one night I was playing Friday the 13th, the game, and I was playing with a well-known streamer that I didn't know, like, who it was. And then we wound up becoming friends, and we started playing with each other. And she was like, have you ever thought about, like, playing video games and streaming, like, while live? And I was like, no. I said, you mean like on YouTube and stuff? And she was like, yeah. She said, you're really funny. She said, I think that you should, like, try it out. And I was like, okay. So she told me how to do it. And I told her, I was like, well, I don't have a PC or anything. And she was like, just use, your Xbox or your PlayStation, and you can start there. So I started doing that, and then I remember she upgraded her PC to like this $7,000 rig or something like that. Yes, it was massive, and it was so dope. Like, her whole setup, I was like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. She's a mom, she's a wife, so I really related to her, and I saw where, how she was doing with it and how she was going, and I was just like amazed, and I was like, I might really try to do this. So I never forget it. Like, one day she called me one Saturday, and she was like, well, where are you at? And I said, nothing, just hanging out with the kids or whatever. And she was like, well, meet me in Towson. I got something for you. And it was a PC. So she gave me her old PC, and she said, please just take this. She said, you seem so much happier while playing video games. She said, please just take this and make the best of it. She said, promise me that you're going to have fun and that you're going to enjoy it. She said, and I want to see you make partner. I want to see you make YouTube partner. It's like, I'm not doing that. I said, I'm just going to play these games and stream. And she was like, no. She said, just do it. So I was like, I got to give you something for this. Like, I have to pay you. And she was like, I'm not taking it. She said, your payment is for you to do well. And that's what I did.
See? I love it.
Yes. She was
welcome
really
in.
sweet.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Raiders. Queen, it shall be. Listen, y'all, I posted in the chat. If you love the hit show, Different World, check out the board game made by Queen, it shall be. There's the link. Use the code BIPOC. Because, all proceeds from any sales that we get will be going straight to the BIPOC Streamer Awards.
Will do.
Mike City. Thank you. You like my little hair, my little wig. My little wig.
She looks fabulous, doesn't she?
Oh, gosh. Yes, thank you for the lurk. Thank you. I like to her. I can't.
It's funny.
Girl, go fan girl, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, go fan girl, go fan girl, go fan girl, go fan girl, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up.
Okay. One time for the one time.
That. I love it.
A whole mess, but we went off the rails. I don't even know where I was going.
It's okay. That means we're having fun.
Okay, so your friend blessed you with an amazing rig, which is so cool. My little brother is currently building a rig for me.
That's awesome.
I don't know. He'd be like, "Well, do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "Make it." I'm called it She Beast. That is her name.
I love it. I love it.
Yes. So that's amazing when we're able to support each other and always pay it forward. It's all
Yeah.
about that. Always paying it forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, what is your first memory of gaming? Like,
Oh my god. My first memory of gaming was um when we were younger. My older sister, she's in the chat, Nikki. She had an Atari.
okay, okay.
And I remember she would come over because we have the same dad but different mamas. So she would come over in the summertime, and she would be like, don't touch my game. If I'm not in here, don't touch it. And I remember she had went out somewhere with my dad, and I'm like, what is this thing? Like, it looks amazing. And I remember my baby sister and I was like, you watch the door and wait and see if Nikki's coming
Not
back.
you touching it when she said not to.
Yes, I did.
Nikki, I'm sorry.
I picked up that controller and I was like, I gotta get me one of these. So I wrapped it up. Sorry, sissy. I wrapped it up. I put it back. And then that following year, I remember my mom and dad were like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, I want a video game. So I didn't get a video game that year because they couldn't afford it.
Mhm.
So I remember when Nintendo came out, and I was like, and my mom said, well, you can get, I said, can I get a Sega Genesis and a Nintendo? And she's like, no, you have to pick which one you want.
Like, we ain't made of
And-
money now. Come on.
Right. You think money grows on trees? So I remember hearing my friends talking about the Friday the 13th game on Nintendo.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into
Yes.
it. Let's get
And
into
I
it.
said, okay. And everybody else was like, I'm going to play Super Mario. And I'm like, I'm going to play Jason. I want this game. And I remember I got that Nintendo, and I swear, like, my mom was coming to get me. My dad was coming to get me. Like, listen, you need to go take a shower. Like, it's time for you to get out and get off
Get
of
some
that game.
sun on your behind.
Right. My friends were knocking on the door like, is Lily coming outside? And I'm yelling out the window, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like, I would not move. And I remember I got so far, because that game was really hard. It was really hard to beat.
Listen, welcome
Yes.
in CFG Games. I appreciate you for being here. Bonnie, hi. Listen,
Hi,
kids
Bonnie.
gonna do what they gonna do. That's so
Yes.
true. But yes, like Friday the 13th, it's still one of my favorite games. That OG.
Mine too.
When the zombies would be walking towards you, and all of a sudden they
Oh.
stop and turn around and walk off the screen, Jason about to be like, "Shh!"
coming.
And here
Yeah.
he comes, slicing and
Mhm.
dicing.
Yes. And I remember I couldn't get past a board, and I was so frustrated, and I was crying and everything. I was like, I gotta finish this.
Listen.
And my mom, she said, well, listen, she said, you can do it. She said, you just need to walk away and take a break. She said, after dinner, get your shower, get your night clothes on, and then I'll let you play it for an hour. Well, that hour turned into the sun was almost coming up. And
No.
she didn't bother me. She didn't fuss or anything. And she said, did you beat it? I said, I beat it. And she was like, okay. She said, you're getting ready to go to school, though. You're going to be tired.
You're
So
gonna have to push through, sweetie.
yes. And that I think my first memory of gaming was like, these games are not easy, number one, and once you finally complete it, it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. I can go back and play it, and I can just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
No,
my
those games
first,
back then. Oh.
yes, they were not no save points,
No.
saving at all. You had to start
No
all
memory
over
card.
again.
No saving.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes, you had to start all over again.
Or it was like
So-
that game, Faxanadu, when you had like this
Oh.
long behind code that you had to write down,
Yes.
and some was like
Yes.
capital and lowercase,
Mhm.
and you had to make sure you wrote it perfectly.
Yes.
Your little
yes.
self tried to write letters perfectly.
Right.
I'm like, I can barely write, but you want me
Right.
to write, make sure that my Q is uppercase
Oh,
versus
yeah.
lowercase?
Oh yeah. Yes indeed.
Avita, hey. Listen. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you also play Fester's Quest?
I didn't. I watched one of my friends play it, but I didn't play it.
Yeah, that
Didn't
was
play it.
another
Mhm.
hard one. That
Oh
was like
yeah.
you wanted to fight.
Mhm.
You wanted to fight everybody.
Yes. Yes.
But it was so cute because it still was
It
the Adams
was.
family.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Did you like Wednesday? What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. I loved it. I loved it. I was a little bit scared at first because I'm used to like the other Wednesday, like growing up as a child, but I loved oh my gosh, what is her name?
Christina Ricci. Oh no, the new one, Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega.
Yes, I love Jenna Ortega. So I was like, I'm gonna give this a chance. Like, I'll watch it. And she did so good.
She
She
did.
did so good. And I watched it and I watched it and I watched it. And this is good. I can't wait for season two.
Yeah,
I'm looking out for it.
I know it's not going to be on Netflix. It's going to move though.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like there was like selling of Warner Brothers or something. They were selling of
Mhm.
something, and then something, and then therefore Netflix wouldn't have the rights to make it
Right.
anymore. So now it has to
Oh,
move. But then now, if it's moving, do you get everybody back again? Are they
right.
willing to throw the
Right.
money to keep people?
Mhm.
Because what the
Mhm.
contract was there is not over
Oh
here,
yeah. Oh yeah. That is true.
and it was
That
a hit
is
show.
true.
So you can't be
Mhm.
like, "I would pay you peanuts." You can pay peanuts the
Mhm.
first season. You can't pay
Yeah.
peanuts the second one.
Yup. Yup. That
So
is true.
it might only be a one and done to never be
Yeah.
seen
I
again.
hope
I
not.
hope
It's
not.
so
I
good.
hope not. It was just there was a whole hoopla. So
Mhm.
you know, but hopefully we shall see.
Yes.
So with the various watching horror trailers and playing horror games and some of those indie games are kind of wild
Oh
and
yeah.
they could be a little crazy. What
Oh
was
yeah.
the funniest moment that happened while streaming and content creation? Well,
I have a special guest. His name is Aussie Pants. And I'm sitting there minding my black owned mom business and I'm just playing my game. And I'm in the middle of a boss fight in Resident Evil Village where I'm fighting. I'm exaggerating because I exaggerate and I'm extra. I'm fighting 1,000,001 of these lichens, and they're shooting fire at me. They're
mm-mm.
throwing stuff. And then Aussie walks up and he's like, "Mommy, can I have a banana?" And I'm like, "Sure, you can have a banana. Why would I deny my child a food, right?" So he's like, "That's a good game." And he takes the banana peel and throws it on my head. And you would have thought, you would have thought that one of those lichens came out of the game and like slapped me on my forehead, and
No.
it scared me so bad. It was like one of those scares where you got to clench your butt cheeks, and then you got to be like, okay, that was just a. I was terrified. I said, you know what? It's time for you to move out because you do not respect me. It's
See,
time for you to
that's
move out.
when you hear somebody say, "Listen, I fight kids." Right there,
Right.
right there is why you fight kids.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't do that while Bobby is playing a hard game. What is wrong with you? I failed you as a parent. You don't do that. And he's just like laughing and he's giggling and stuff like. And I'm like, Aussie, no, you cannot do that. You scare me. And he's like, ha, 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 ha. And he just runs off. Everybody thought that was the most hilarious thing. They clipped it. They wanted me to play the clip again.
Now I
I'm
gotta
like,
go find the clip. I must
Yeah.
dig deep. Hey, don't be jealous. Welcome in, welcome in. Listen,
and calling daddy or yes, that one too.
listen. Okay, I'm about to dig. I'm about to dig for that clip because that sounds hilarious. But it was always, listen. It's always fun to scare your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brothers always would scare my mom, and we would scare my dad too. We
Yeah.
definitely did a lot of pranks. My mom,
Mhm.
but the thing is, my mom she likes to hit. So there's been a couple times that my brother got punched right in the chest, like hard, because like it's funny, but like she's like boom, like she just
Yes.
she'll punch first and ask questions
Yes.
later that she just punched one of us. But like,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Yeah,
like,
I got those too. I pulled pranks on my mom. We would like run up and behind her and scare her, and then she turn around and backhand. She like it was. Yeah, we got those.
so listen, and that's why you had a banana peel on your head.
Payback, payback.
It just keeps keeps going.
Right. That's definitely payback.
Yours just happened to be live streaming, and now there's evidence of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yes.
that's the difference nowadays, that there's now evidence of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I can imagine just like
Yes. And it's just like sliding on the side of the, and I'm like, I said, what are you doing?
Because like you would just be thinking it's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no,
Yes.
No.
Oh my goodness, that boy.
gosh. So, what games are you like currently playing? Like, what are you into right now?
I am into indie horror games. Like
Ooh.
I feel like the well-known games that are coming out, like they're really like not necessarily what's going to happen, but you know what to look out for. The jump scares are still good, but I feel like indie games, they really like scare the crap out of you. Mortuary Assistant was like, I feel like that game does not get enough recognition and does not get enough credit. Like that game was so well done. It was so accurate as far as like working in a mortuary. Like it was so good.
Yeah, like they made sure, like, listen, you going to put this tube into this body.
Yes.
You gotta do this.
Yes.
You gotta do that. Like they were. Oh, okay. We really doing the whole. We really embalming somebody today, huh? Okay.
It was spot on. It was really good.
I know, and they purposely like you have to have the table tilted for the fluids to. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't play it, but I watched people play it.
It's so good. You gotta try it with the lights on, of course.
See, no. I did that. I did that demo for Outlast Trials.
Oh yeah.
And when that thing had bit my hand, because I was like, oh, let me put my hand.
Yes.
See.
Yeah.
And then he beat me like I stole something when I tried to run.
Yeah, that little monster was rude. That monster was really rude. I like that.
See, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
It was brutal. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, I might play it when it comes out. I think it'll be funny.
It's worth it.
Because I'll be fussing. Do you also utilize Dixper?
No, what is that?
That's where people can like buy crates and they can do stuff to further scare you while you're playing a game. So like, a zombie can jump out, there could be a scream, there could be blood coming down, it could do like alien vision, so say you're like fighting something and all of a sudden it goes woo, and like it goes all like wavy and
I need
stuff.
that link. They would enjoy that because they love to torture.
Oh yeah, it's really for your chat to torture you.
Yeah, they're going to enjoy that.
And if you
enjoy that,
if you do it during a horror game, it's even better because now they can double, triple.
Oh yeah,
scare you.
I'm going to have to look into that. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, you're welcome to the chat, and I'm sorry to you, because whatever they do is not my fault.
Fangirl, if you hate me, just say so. You already put it out in the universe, so everybody's going to remind me now, like, hey, you didn't put that thing in there that she was talking about. Yeah.
So while it's a critical moment, that you're fighting something.
Yeah.
Or if they're playing a game that somebody else already played, so they know where the jump scares are, they can time it just right. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, something. I know what's about to happen. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, deploy, and then get you.
Yep.
I mean, that was usually the
I'm
best
gonna need
times.
new pants.
Yep. Just wear the Depends, and you'll be good. Just wear the Depends. Start off like that.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Listen. So what are some of the like indie horror, if you can think of their names, that you've been playing?
Layers of Fear is one of my all-time favorites. Medicine, Home, I think it's Home Sweet Home or something like that. Mortuary Assistant as well. Also Video Horror Society is like a multiplayer game.
Ooh.
And it's 80s based. I'm an 80s baby and I love 80s horror, so I had to play it. And it's like a multiplayer game, so you get to be like, the setting is in like a high school, and you can either be a werewolf or you can be a goblin. It kind of gives you the vibes of like Dead by Daylight, but it's not exactly as repetitive as Dead by Daylight, and it's really, really fun. I really enjoyed it, and it's a game that I would definitely recommend over and over again.
Okay, no, that sounds like fun, especially if you got a full squad of friends playing.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's all about when you're playing a multiplayer. And then
yes,
sometimes the randos mess you up, so it's nice to play with friends.
That part. Oh my goodness.
Because you be like, I want to fight that person. Where are they?
Yes.
Is there anything that's coming out soon that you're like looking forward to?
I am a Resident Evil fan. Like, I loved Resident Evil Village. I played it 8 times. So I'm really looking forward to the Resident Evil 4 remake. And I'm really excited about it because I also am nosy to see, because of when you read like the synopsis of it, they're talking about how Leon is saving somebody in a village in Europe, and Resident Evil Village was based in like a village in Europe, and they had to fight all of these mystical creatures. So I'm really, really excited about that one.
No, I really like how they're like weaving everything together. Like they're really making sure. This all.
Also, Gun Media, the makers of Friday the 13th, the game, they're making Texas Chainsaw. So it's on your Steam if you want to wish list it now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because I know there was a whole whatever with the Friday the 13th movie and messing with the rights and this, that, and the other. Yeah. So they couldn't like fully keep going with it and blah, blah, blah. So that's like smart on them. Pivot from that slasher to this one. That's all right. We'll move away from the guy with the knife. We'll move to the guy with the chainsaw.
Yes.
No problem. Because it's the same, it's the same mechanics. They can update the graphics, update things that worked and what didn't work. I mean,
I'm so excited.
I mean, people are still playing Friday the 13th. Like, there's still people.
I'm one of them.
You're one of them? Yeah. There's a TikToker that I watch. He plays it, and he's funny.
Oh, yeah.
So I just like.
I love that game.
And I have the game.
Really?
It's right here. Because I was like, ooh. And I had bought it. And then I never opened it. It's still in the package. It's still in the package.
We gotta play it.
I'll have to open the package. We'll see. Well, I mean, it might be like fuse closed at this point, because like I bought it so many years ago. Like, if that's not the epitome
item at this point.
If that's not the epitome of your backlog, is disgusting. When you buy a game and it never even gets opened. Never gets opened. That's a shame.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
totally okay. I promise.
Mm,
We gotta get you to play this. I
I
got
know.
Screen Reapers who will join in. Like this can
Okay.
be a whole thing.
I
It's gonna
listen.
be
I
fun.
listen. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'll dust it off. I'll install it onto the Xbox, and I'll get it together. I'll get it together. What?
Sounds good.
Are you gonna play the coming out this year's Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm in their Discord.
Me too.
Like
I'm there.
watching everything.
I'm like looking. I'm like, all right,
Right.
ain't nothing going on. And then like in 2 weeks or so, I'll be back in. Let me see what y'all got going on
Right.
here.
I do the same thing.
I'm like, I gotta remember. Like they're in their own folder, so I know.
Yeah.
Because you know when you're in,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm sure you are, like in 5,000 different discords, and some of them are dead discords, but you don't want to leave them because that'd be rude.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You just move them to a different folder, and I was like, all
Yes.
right, let me just check out
Yes.
what's going on here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so even though we're a little bit further in than normal, but I like to do an icebreaker, but I usually wait until a little bit, in which the amazing guest plays two truths and a lie. So you tell us two truths and a lie about you, and me and the chat will guess what is the lie. Sometimes I just completely ignore the chat and overrule them, like, anyway, and I say what the lie is, and sometimes I will vote with them. So,
Okay.
are you ready? What are
Yes. Okay. So two truths and a lie. I hate Halloween 1978. My favorite horror film is Nightmare on Elm Street. And let me think. I gotta think of something good. I almost wound up spending the night at the Amityville Horror House.
Nope. I'ma say
Oh,
what was the first one again?
I hate the movie Halloween 1978.
Okay, and your favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mhm.
OG first one.
Yes.
I'ma say the first one's the lie.
Anybody else want to guess?
Anybody else in the chat would like to guess? It's Halloween 1978 is you don't like that movie.
Mhm.
Favorite movies Nightmare on Elm Street, and the third one is Almost Stayed at the Amityville Horror House.
Mhm.
One true treat. I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm going
And
with
you
it.
are correct. That is the lie. Halloween 1978 is actually my favorite movie.
Mhm.
Um, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite films, but not my favorite movie. And I almost did wind up spending the night at the Amityville Horror House. Um, so so weird story.
Yeah, listen.
Um,
Where's my water? Okay, go ahead. Welcome
my
in,
friends
Silky.
and I, Silky. My friends and I were like doing like a road trip. We were supposed to go to New York because Beanie Siegel was playing in a concert there. So we were trying to find Beanie Siegel.
Beans.
And we got lost. And the road that we were trying to find our way back to the highway or the expressway, whatever you want to call it. And we turned down this street. And I was like, oh my God, this house looks so familiar. And it just so happens that one of my friends, her tire bust while we were there. So we're like, I want to say like 2 minutes, maybe not. We're not like, we can actually see the house, but we're not close where we can actually walk up to the door.
Mm.
And she's like, I said, well, do you have a spare tire? And she's like, I don't know. So, so I'm like, well, we're going to have to spend the night here because I'm not going to be that girl in the horror film who walks to go to find a payphone. I'm just not going to do that. So it just so happens that she had a donut in her trunk. She didn't know it was in there. So we put the donut on and got out of there. And I'm sitting there
See?
in the car and I'm like, where do I know this house from? Like this house, mind you, we had no business up there. Like Amityville is like somewhere in like Connecticut or something like that. So we were really far off from the concert. We totally was like way past where we were supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, where was this? I said, this house is like, you know how something is like nagging at you, like you know what this is, but you can't think of it. And I remember on our way back to Baltimore, and I'm like, bitch, I'm like, do you know we were by the Amityville Horror House? And she said,
See?
what?
No.
I said, yes. And I went home. This was back before like cell phones and stuff was like, you could look up things on the internet. And I went home and she was dropping me off because we all rode together. And I'm like, y'all gotta come in here because I need y'all to verify this before you leave because I know that we were at that house. And sure enough, we looked it up on the internet and they were like, oh my God. And I said, yup. I said, won't be going anywhere with y'all anymore because you don't know nothing about your time.
Y'all was listen, and them ghosts
Yeah.
was gonna get you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Them ghosts was gonna
Mhm.
get you. And you know,
Yes.
you can stay at the Lizzie Borden house.
I heard that too. I heard that. And there's also where the first and second Friday the 13th was filmed. It's called Camp Crystal Lake Tour. Like and then some of the stars actually are there so they can sign autographs and you can take pictures and you get to stay there like the whole weekend. You actually get to stay at Camp Crystal Lake for
See,
that whole weekend.
No. 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 No, thank you. Ain't no way.
I
Ain't
want to
no
go
way.
so bad.
You on your
And my-
own,
my
sis. Go
husband-
ahead. Be blessed.
My husband is so annoyed with me because he's like, well, what do you want to do for our anniversary? He's thinking like, you know, the Poconos, rose petals, and I'm like, can we go to Camp Crystal Lake? And he's like, no, that's not romantic. And I'm like, yes, it is. Like, I want to go there. Yes. He's so sick of me. He is so sick of me.
I mean,
but
Friday 13th not based on a true story, right? So
I heard that it was, but
I mean,
the writers and stuff, they're saying that it wasn't.
Yeah, but Camp Crystal Lake isn't like a real place. Like, you know, like Lizzie Borden house, like that was real. Like, you know, like
it was a camp. It was like a camp for kids, but it shut down.
Yeah,
nobody knows why it was shut down, so they just started filming there.
Yeah, but there was no killer slasher.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bearded, welcome in. Appreciate you for being
Bearded.
here. So, like, I will give you half a pass for Camp Crystal Lake tour. Since there's not an actual killer, there's not actual dead spirits that you are aware of there.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No, there's something wrong with. There's something
Exactly,
wrong with that.
Beard. Exactly.
I had a coworker, her and her now husband, stayed at that Lizzie Borden house.
Really?
Yes.
How did she like it?
Something in the middle of the night ripped the sheets off of them.
Oh, so they didn't stay long. They didn't.
They stayed the rest of the night.
Well, they did. Okay.
They stayed. She thought he took the sheets off, and he thought she took the sheets off. And when they confronted each other in the morning, they realized
wasn't me.
It was the spirit.
Goodness.
I was like, no.
Oh my goodness.
No.
So now I have to go and I have to vlog it. I am that influencer. I am.
But you could write it off because it's content. Just make sure you got your sage and all that kind of stuff. I know we're all over the place today, guys.
Right.
Do you watch the show Ghost Brothers?
Oh yes. I'm a travel channel person all day. Ghost
Holy
Brothers.
Spirit activate.
Yes.
Listen.
Spirit. That was right on time too. That was right on time.
If you guys are not watching all the different shows on Travel Channel, like Ghost Brothers, first of all, support them, because 3 amazing black men out here doing the ghost hunting, which is not something that you normally see, and they're very honest, and then they still do they're very honest about their reactions, and they still do the foolishness.
They do.
When he was tied up to the bed as a offering to the succubus, I was like,
I'm sorry.
Foolish.
That was hilarious. That
In
was
the silk.
in his face. That, like, couldn't nobody make that face like I done messed up like a black person in his face.
Humble, hi, welcome in.
Hi, Humble Pants. His face was like, oh no, what am I doing? What am I doing laying up here like this?
And the door just opened behind him.
Mm-hmm.
See, nope. See, nope.
Yes, I love them. I love them.
Yeah. And then they had that show with Jack Osborne. Ghost, what was it?
When they're looking at like paranormal stuff. Yep.
That was,
I love it.
That was such a good show. So
yes.
Oh my gosh, talented yokers, what's up? What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Yeah, so we're off the rails talking about horror stuff, and we're all over the place. Ghost Brothers, yes, they have a brand new season. They were just at New York Comic Con, so that was really cool to see them there, because I was like, oh, I gotta go to this panel. I know. And they were so cool, and they were so much fun to just talk to.
Awesome.
So yeah. So guys, if y'all aren't watching all the fun stuff on Travel Channel,
yes,
Ghost Hunters, right? That's with Zach, right?
Yes. Right? And it's also Ghost Adventures. That one is another favorite mine.
That's the OG one, right? Ghost Adventures? No, Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures is the one with Zach, and the Ghost
Hunters
is
the OG one. I like Ghost Adventures because they're so like bro doing this. They're funny, especially if you look at their old stuff and like his clothing. It's like.
And when Zach acts like he's always doing something that is not record. Did you see the episode when he was at the Warrens' house, and Ed and Lorraine Warren's son kept telling him not to touch Annabelle, like leave it alone, and Zach is like, but I just feel like I want to touch it, and her son was getting so irritated.
Yes.
He was like, listen, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to have to put her back. He was, you know what? You're not listening. I'm going to put Annabelle back in the box. And he was like, but I want to touch it. I just had to touch it. I'm like, are you kidding?
I'm like, why would you want to touch the demon doll?
Oh my God.
Or like,
oh my goodness.
I've been to Vegas 5,000 times, but I've never been to his museum.
I want to go so bad.
Because then they talk about how people pass out, people see stuff. During the pandemic, he opened the
divot box
with the Jewish demon in it. No. Bearded. He was yelling out pineapple because that was his safe word in case the succubus mess with him. And yes, thank you. My accountability is still going forward. I'm still holding strong, and my push-ups are getting stronger and better.
Yes.
Listen to the way that door opened. Are you watching it right
Wasn't
now?
It crazy? Man, I was sitting there like, ooh, he better get up and get up.
Oh, and
get out of there.
That was the one. Was that the one that was at Rose Hall? And that's where I sent you to. Yeah. So I always listen. And they have a podcast too.
Oh, really?
They
I
have
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Because they were doing an episode on the Jersey Devil, and I'm always here. Anytime people talk about the Jersey Devil, I am here for it. Like,
I would like to know. I remember hearing about the Jersey Devil when I was a kid. And then I heard about it again, like in a movie, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got a chance. I'm going to have to, because and this is actually the third time this week that I've heard about the Jersey Devil. So I'm going to have to read up about that.
You know, supposedly it was a woman who had her 13th child. Who knows how real that is. Back in the woods in the Pine Barrens, which is where I grew up at. It's just surrounded by woods. It's just woods everywhere. Ain't nothing around you but like if you like when the little Google car goes past my parents' house, you can barely see their house because like it's woods and then there's driveway and then it's just trees and woods. So like it's just all woods. So somewhere back there in the woods, she had her 13th child that was like part, you know, whatever, came out with wings and things and whatnot. So.
Man, it's crazy.
So people were out there hunting somewhere back in the woods. You know, people.
Oh my goodness!
Like people look for the Bigfoot, people look for a Jersey Devil.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to read up about that. That seems. Was there any like documentary? You know how Travel Channel does like the shock docs? Was it? I'm gonna have to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a best.
Listen, and I grew up with a graveyard in my backyard.
Really?
Yeah, there's a graveyard in my backyard.
Oh my goodness!
And like we didn't know, like, you know, there's like our property supposedly. Well, our property line goes into the graveyard, whatever. But like the woods, there's like the woods in the graves.
Sorry, listening to you, but I keep looking at what did.
I'm ignoring him. Anyway, but like we noticed like where like usually where our dog was outside at, that there was like really bearded. That's why.
Wow.
And we noticed that there was like cement, and we were like, wait. And that's when we realized that it was very much a poltergeist. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. That's there was graves more on our property. I was like, well, where's the actual? I thought the beginning of the graveyard starts past like this one little section, but I'm like, I think the graves are actually further up because we found more grave headstones on like our property where we just run around as little kids. I was like, I think we have a poltergeist moment. I think I don't think they even moved the headstones. It's just since it was from like the early 1900s, you know, stuff topple over, ground comes over.
Did you have any like weird experiences or anything?
I think there was a couple things here and there. My friends claim they saw more stuff, but since we were living there,
yeah,
you know, I did see some stuff like,
wow.
That's where I'm gonna bury your body, bearded. I have a perfect place where there's already human remains. So if I add more human remains and a cadaver dog comes, they're like, how does a cadaver dog tell from fresh remains and old remains?
Right. Don't give her any ideas.
Girl, go
Really?
girl. Forget it.
I'm just saying, I have a perfect place to hide your body. Very easy.
Go girl.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, so we're talking about everything and anything, but if you could design your own game, because we talked about a lot about indie games and how creative they are, and they really got the jump scares down. What would it look like?
Listen, and I'm saying this because I already have the Kickstarter started. Okay.
Oh, listen,
I am making. I want to really. I want to create the Halloween game, and I really want it to look like when you first experienced Halloween 1978. I want it to.
Okay.
I want to have like babysitters. I want to have Michael Myers, all of that. I really feel like I need that, and not saying that just because I'm a fan, because when you think about Halloween and you think about horror, like the top slashers that you think about are Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, you know what I'm saying?
True.
I feel like this industry really, really needs a Halloween game. I don't know where to start. If anybody's listening and you know, please shoot me an email or DM. But I really, really want to get this thing going. And I've been trying to like the creators of Friday the 13th, the game, the community manager for Gun Media, Matt, I'm constantly like, Matt, listen, this needs to happen. He was like, do you know how much this is going? Listen, I'm willing to raise money by licensing.
Listen, we all would invest, and we would easily invest. I'm sorry, Season.
Hi, Season. Oh my goodness.
Came to steal your peanut butter pops.
Butter pops. She doesn't need them. Oh my gosh. She's one of the trolls in my chat.
Listen, well, you saw what Bearded did, so we all have our trolls. We all have our crosses to bear. So.
I sympathize with you. Oh, goodness.
No, I think that would actually be really a lot of fun to have like that Halloween. Man, especially like if you're, if you're just like kind of on the street. Running in and out of the houses.
Yes. Yep.
And I guess you'll let us actually be able to fight Michael, or.
I would, but how I would do it is like, you would have to like protect the children, like you have to grab a child. Like each character has to like, one of the missions is to like, because they're babysitters, right? So their responsibility is to protect children. So I would make, like one of the missions where, like Tommy Doyle's in the house by himself. Oh no, you got to go get him, and then you got to go run from Michael, like something like that. So I really, that needs to happen. I really, really, really want that.
So it's like the OG Friday 13th. If all them kids die, game is over. You got to save them kids.
Yes.
Jam Pack was good. How are you? So now so you can't say F them kids. Oh man.
Yeah, you can't.
You gotta save the kids. Like I'm trying to live. Forget them kids.
Save them. Yes.
Exactly. F them kids. Like dang. Will there be a multiplayer? I know like so many games now are multiplayer.
I definitely would make it a multiplayer. Definitely. It has to be a multiplayer. You have Laurie Strode, her friends, oh my god, Annie, what was her friend's name that kept saying totally all the time? Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I would definitely have Dr. Loomis.
Oh yeah.
Lindsay Wallace, all of them will be in it. Every last one of them.
That'll be fun. Especially since like you can make everybody has like their own like special abilities. Like have you ever played? Probably not, because it's so geeky. The board game Last Night on Earth.
Yes, I did play that.
Oh, okay, because like I say this to people, and people are like,
I did.
what are you talking about?
Right?
Especially this is a board game, and it's like,
yeah, and I didn't know anything about it. And a friend of mine, we went to game night at my friend's house, and he had that there. So yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Okay, because like each character, like they have like a certain amount of hit boxes. Some people are stronger than others. Some people have the ability to hold more weapons than others. Some people, so like to have the characters have depth like that. So even though like this might be like a name, like your number one, the best character, and they're awesome, but they only got one hitbox, and like they can only hold one weapon, and it has to be a small weapon. They can't hold the big gun. They can't hold. All they can hold is a knife. Like so like that's how so people.
Yes, indeed.
Board games. If you're into board games, Last Night on Earth, so much fun. It's humans versus zombies, and you have to do like.
I will get that to you, Bearded. I was not prepared. I'm sorry.
yes. Just look at my Twitter, and I'll make sure I'll tweet it out so you guys can support that. That sounds like a really cool game. You let us know, because we will invest.
Will do.
Listen, the power of our dollar. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. Yes. We are strong with the power of our beliefs. So let's make it work.
Girl, go fangirl, forget it, forget it, forget it, forget it, go fangirl, go fangirl, go fangirl. Okay, girl. Forget it. Forget it.
Random dance breaks. That's what we do here.
I love it. I love it.
So, what is? This is the hardest question of the night. Okay. What is your favorite game of all time? It could be a video game. It could be a tabletop game. It could be a card game, because there's nothing wrong with Uno, and the people who created Uno don't know how to play it. Okay?
Yeah.
It could be any of those dominoes. It could be dice, whatever.
I'm gonna have to say Friday the 13th, Nintendo Edition, and good old Dungeons and Dragons. Those are my favorites.
All right. Listen, I am here for it. Especially since Friday the 13th. OG NES version is one of my favorites as well. It was such a good game. Evil.
It was.
Evil. It's a very evil game. But I would love for them. I don't need a remake. Just put it on the Switch. I don't need a remake. Literally.
Please. No.
Doop.
Trigger.
Doop. I don't need a remake. Don't need to redo it. Just take it. And put it right on the Switch. Don't change nothing about it.
That would be lovely.
Like, can we get this going? Where's the sheet? I'll assign my name. Then everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. F13 Nintendo is OG. It is. No, listen.
Yes.
Just playing it, and I remember the first time getting the torch with my girl Debbie, and then from there on, I was the only person I rocked with. Everybody else, I understand she wasn't the fastest, she couldn't jump the highest, but my girl Debbie, because I got the torch with her the first time. She got
the job done. She got the job done. That's like Vanessa in the new Friday the 13th game. Like, you cannot lose with Vanessa as a survivor at all. You can't. Yes.
Oh yeah, remember beating the first day? Yeah, that first day you thought you did something, and all of a sudden he come back meaner, faster, and eviler.
Oh yeah, and harder.
And the kids don't reset though. It's like, how you gonna not reset the kids? Because he already done killed like half of them.
Yes. Yep.
That's just so wrong. So wrong. And his mom's floating head, that blue head.
Just floating around.
He was like,
those pixels, those awful pixels.
Like,
Oh my
Or
goodness.
you
Those
try
were
to,
good
you see that
times.
he's coming, so you try to run away and you get into a house,
Mhm.
and then he be inside the house with you,
Yes.
and you fight him.
This is supposed to be my hiding spot.
You fight him, and you're like, okay, good. And then you leave the house, and then he got the nerve to be outside. Like,
Yes.
no!
Yes.
Just rude.
So mean.
So
mean.
rude. Just taking all your
Uh-huh.
life. Well,
Yes, indeed.
like, well, that was fun. I'm dead now. Thanks.
This was fun.
Yes. Like, you knew how to, like, navigate through, like forward,
Mhm.
forward, left, forward, right,
Yep.
forward, like,
Mhm.
and bam, you
Yeah.
would be right there, right where you needed to
Oh
be.
my goodness.
Like,
Oh, cool.
you just had to know how to play them games. You just had to know.
Mhm.
Just had to know.
Yep. Yes.
And then he would get you in the boat. Like, you can't even get away from him.
I forgot about the boat. Oh my gosh.
You're trying to dodge the stupid birds, and then here he go, zoom, and he take your life.
Yes.
You can't dodge him.
And it was quick too. It's like if you blink, you're you're going to die. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
Oh yeah, the zombies jumping out the water because they be like
Out the water. Mm-hmm.
So you're dodging the birds, dodging the zombies, and you got him.
Yep.
So rude.
Yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know we are just complaining about this game, but still our favorite game. Like,
It is. It is. We're just venting
we're
right
venting. Our little 7-year-old self is venting.
Yes.
Like, how dare you with this game?
now. I'm just a kid, please. Oh my gosh.
Listen, like so many other things. Like, why was my little kid self playing that?
Yes.
But then why was I watching Critters too at that age? Like,
Oh yeah.
I shouldn't have been watching Critters either.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Still,
But it was a good one.
it was a good one. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and anytime there's a Tremors marathon, I am here for it.
Same here. Now I can watch the first Tremors, but after that,
Really?
it kind of like lost me.
I think,
I think it was one that was like it was set in like the Western times, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
when it gets to like Tremors 4 and 5, you get kind of, but like the
Yeah.
first 3, you're okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody comes back for like the last one.
I never did. I see the last one. I don't think I saw the last one.
Yeah.
I think I stopped at the Western.
No, I understand that. No, I understand that. But it's definitely a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Bert, listen.
Goddamn Bert Gummer. My boy Bert. Broke it. Broke it to the rock.
There was
Oh
a
my God.
Nintendo. There was a Nightmare on Elm Street on Nintendo.
Yes. It was. I played that one as well. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember.
It was pretty good. That one was a little bit challenging too, but it was pretty good. It was.
Yeah. So, what would you say to somebody who's first? Let's get back on track. I'm sorry. What would you say? I know we it's going. What would you say to someone who's first starting out as a streamer and content creator? Like, what advice would you give to them?
Be yourself. Play what you like. Because that way you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy the people who are coming to see you because you're having fun. And also, it's not a race to make affiliate. It's not a race to make partner. Those are good goals, but if it doesn't happen as quick as it doesn't mean that you're a horrible streamer. It doesn't mean that your content is trash. It's just not your time. So, I would also tell them you do not need a camera to stream. You do not need a top of the line PC. Just do it when you're comfortable. Try to set a schedule. Try to be engaging with your community, and have fun. And I know that's like the cliche that everybody uses, but when you think about it, and I tell this all the time to Screen Reapers and everybody who like would ask me things about streaming, I would always tell them like at some point this is going to be a career for you. And who wants to work on a job that you do not like or you are not having fun on? So if this is your business and you are creating content and you are playing games, it has to be something that is enjoyable to you, or you're not going to do it, or you're not going to like it.
No, it's true.
So try to have fun with it and just hang in there. Just hang in there.
No, listen, if you are not having fun, people
Hmm.
are going to tell. They're going to see it.
Oh
Even
yeah, they can.
like a lot of times you'll find yourself in situations, it's hard. You'll find yourself in situations where developers might reach out to you and ask
Hmm.
you to play a game or something, and it's not something you like.
Yes.
It's not something you're
Hmm.
into.
Hmm.
Listen, say no. It's not your If
Right.
that's not your brand,
E-
say no.
Yep.
You don't have to say
Every
yes.
And you do not have to take everything that comes your way. You do
No.
not. And I run into that a lot of times also, where people are like, should I take this gig? And I'm like, if it's something that you know you're not going to give, number one, your honest opinion about, or you're not going to have fun with it, you can kindly send that email and say, well, you know what, thank you so much for thinking of me, but unfortunately at this time my books are full, or I do not have the space for this right now within my brand. And that's how you also build relationships with people, because if they do not have something for you at that moment,
Hmm.
the gaming industry is very, very small, and I need people to understand that, because you can easily your name can easily float around, and it can be a good thing or a bad thing. So you have to be very careful, because a lot of people are mentioning your names in meetings. A lot of people are reaching out to other people saying, hey, she wasn't interested in this, but she is interested in horror. You might want to give her, shoot her an email. So you have to be very,
Yes.
very careful with things like that. Very careful.
Hey Blunts, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're doing amazing. I appreciate you lurking and working. Yeah, exactly, jam pack. Respectfully, nah, because
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
you sometimes you gotta walk away from things. You gotta
Oh yeah.
leave it alone.
And do your research.
Yes,
Do your research. You do not want to be connected to a company that has got some bad press. 'Cause that's
especially
not good.
especially the foolishness happening out here in these streets. So like
Oh yes.
you
Oh
take a
yes.
moment and kind of look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
about to leave y'all alone. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yup. Thank you so much for thinking of me.
Thank
but
you. Keep me in mind for future endeavors,
right.
but don't. But
Right.
but just throw
Yeah.
that in the email and leave
Right.
it alone.
Yes indeed.
'Cause
Yes indeed.
Ain't no way. So
Mm-hmm.
we are coming to the end. I really want to say
Mhm.
thank you so much. I know we were all over the place, guys, and that's the
I
best type
enjoyed
of
it.
that's the best type of interview when we're like
Yes.
everywhere and anywhere.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay, but wait.
Mm.
Are you like me and have like a basic idea of how you want your funeral to go?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I picked out a song.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to do that thing where they carry the casket and they sing. And then I want like a New Orleans like dancing.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Right.
And see,
like I want people to have
watch-
parasols and
That would be fun. But I actually want to be burnt up. Like, have you ever seen how, like, on Game of Thrones?
like the Vikings
Where-
burial.
Yeah, I want my burial to be something like that. I want, like, my body laid out on, like, logs and stuff. And then everybody's, like, celebrating and drinking and eating. And then when it's time to go home, you can just burn me up, push me out to sea, or take my ashes and take them home. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Less money.
Well, I don't think we can get the fire hot enough to really burn your body as much. So I don't know how exactly that would work, like,
Right.
legally. I think that's the problem. Legally?
Right.
An Asgardian funeral. Thank you, Season.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes, indeed, man. Look at my sister. So,
See?
and we've had these conversations beforehand, and she's like looking at me like, "Are you
See,
high? Like, what
but,
are you
like,
talking about?"
Here's the thing about, like, cremation, right? Because, like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was always
Yeah.
raised Christian, and, like, I want my body intact because in case we need to rise again, when are you rising from with the ashes? You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I know religion is death insurance. I know that, but like,
I am a firm believer that there is going to be a zombie apocalypse, right? And I do not want to come back as a walker. I am fine with, if that's what you choose to do, call me from the other side and I'll peep in your dream. I am fine with that, but I do not want to come back as a walker. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
But like, see, like, then that's like Night of the Living Dead type zombies. Those are zombies that are dead, and they come back. Not like you were living, you were bit, you die, and you come back. So like, you gotta determine what kind of zombies, and then you don't want the
Night of the Living Dead didn't end too well. So listen, that movie. That movie, and hear me out, right?
All right, go ahead.
So let's just picture this, right? You're the only black man. First of all, black people don't live long, and we have evolved. I won't say that we have evolved in horror.
That movie. Wait, I'm sorry. The Blackening. We're gonna talk about it. Go ahead, keep going.
Yes. So the only black man in that movie, rest in peace to George Romero, aka my hero. The only black man in that movie that did all of that work and saved himself and saved a handful of people, and then at the end, the card that he was dealt, I'm angry. Like, I want to start a march behind that because he was wrongfully done.
Not you marching for him.
I want to start a protest. I'm getting my Black Lives Matter flags and everything because that was horrible. That was horrible. Oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm sorry. Season, you're going to get cremated, then you're going to haunt the people that meant you harm and their whole family line. The great-great-great-grandchild. You would have...
She says that
like,
every time.
And there's been movies about that. Like, families that have, like, some family member did somebody wrong and now the family line is cursed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yep.
The movie The Blackening. I know we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. I'm sorry, y'all. The Blackening, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mess.
I'm really excited. It kind of gave me vibes like the Scary Movie parodies at first, but I'm really excited about it because, and I'm waiting for my favorite part where they have to choose, and when they read that line, which one is the blackest? And he said, pick her, because she always says...
Yo, I
cannot wait. I cannot wait for that
funny,
movie.
But at the same time, there's going to be actual horror elements to it. So, like,
my God.
I'm like...
They are a genius. They are a genius.
I can't
wait.
Oh,
my goodness.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
So, okay, now we're really wrapping up, okay? So, any additional thoughts or comments or anything like that you want to add?
Thank you so much for having me. Like, I always get nervous for interviews, but this one was one of my favorites. So Thank you so much. I had a ball. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and cutting up with us as well. So, and I can't wait to hang out with you again. This was fun.
Listen. I'm going to put the Friday 13th into the Xbox. I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna put it in there. My niece says that all their games that we don't be playing are mad at us and they feel hurt that we don't play them. Just so y'all know.
So cute. That is so cute.
But I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you everybody in the chat. You guys are amazing. As always, the guest guides the raid. Who will be raiding?
I have to choose.
Yes.
Okay.
You got who we raiding out to?
Let me see if my screen.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Let's raid. And of course, they're not playing horror tonight. Let me see. Let's raid Silky C.
Okay.
Let me see.
Hit that read button.
Let me give you the link.
C. No. Oddballers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Whoop. So everybody, again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate you for agreeing to do this wild interview in which we were all over the place.
We had so much
and
fun.
I love it. No, it was so much fun. It was such a great time. I will be back next week, the 15th, interviewing the amazing Debbie Snacks, who is one of our community managers for the BIPOC Streamer Awards. So make sure you guys are nominating. I got a couple more seconds before they force us into the raid. Make sure you are nominating your favorite BIPOC streamer, bunch of categories, and nominate your favorite mods. Mods get love too in this, okay?
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
So
that is awesome.
They protect us from the foolishness.
Oh, yes.
So, love on them. All right, guys. It's been fun. Until we meet again. Bye.
Bye.
Raid out. Raid out.
Oh, my gosh. That was so fun.